Hello everybody, I'm that Kamen Rider guy, and welcome to episode 2 of TOKU Explained. So, today, I'm going to be talking about Kuuga and Agito, and specifically how they were meant to be directly connected, and how all of Heisei was meant to be directly connected. But I'm going to be focusing mainly on Kuuga and Agito. I'll get into why just them at the end. And also, spoiler warning ahead, I'll be talking about some main points of both Kuuga, like the ending, and some story points of Agito. If you haven't seen those, I definitely recommend it. But, just do it in your own time. Anyways, let's get into it. Okay, so, real quickly, when Showa ended, all that, Zo, J, etc., then in the year 2000, Kuuga aired. It had a very low budget, and then it became a huge success. And then, when Kuuga ended, originally, when they got the green light to continue doing Kamen Rider and to continue the Heisei series, they were originally going to have Kuuga and Agito be directly connected. Literally, it was planned within the first 2 episodes for Agito to show up and then Kuuga right alongside him. Sorry. But the reason that didn't happen mainly is because there was issues with Toei and the actor who played Kuuga. Now, I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole different ordeal, and it's why the actor who played Kuuga never really returned to Kamen Rider. It's a whole thing. Anyways, so similarities between Kuuga and Agito, well, obviously in the armor, they've got similar horns and armor designs with the chest pieces, but it's different because while Kuuga was based on a stag beetle, Agito was actually based on a dragon, but their lore is directly connected. The Gorongi from Kuuga are directly connected to the unknowns of Agito, like similar species kind of thing. Because with Agito, it's organic with the riders, as in people were given what's known as the seed of Agito. And this allowed the main character to become Agito, because it was something given to humanity by these 2 god children thing, and that's a whole ordeal for later. But anyways, so when they went into Heisei, continuing it, they wanted Kamen Rider to be directly connected, but they often had trouble getting actors to return. Whether it was personal issues or they just wanted to move on and do other things with their acting career, it all varied. But this is also representative in G3. So G3 looks a lot like Kuuga because story-wise, it's been anywhere from 2 to 4 years, I forget exactly, in lore-wise, since Kuuga defeated the final Gorongi and left, to when the unknowns show up in Agito. And G3 was based off of Kuuga because, well, that was the one who defeated the Gorongi, and they figured, hey, if we can't fight with him, let's make him. That kind of similar thing. And so, yes, and in the manga of Kuuga, I haven't read it, but I believe I've seen screenshots, if they're not fan-made, where Kuuga and Agito actually meet up and fight alongside one another. But, again, I'd have to read the Kuuga manga, but I'm having trouble getting my hands on it, so that's why I haven't read it. Now, I could get the Japanese and translate it, but Google Translate often gets it wrong, believe it or not. Anyways, another very similar detail is, in all of Heisei Phase 1, and I believe just Heisei in general, Kuuga and Agito are the only Kamen Riders that are, I use quotations, organic riders, in the senses of their drivers are they're parts of their body. They are organic devices. When Kuuga first puts on his belt and he transforms, the belt, the Arcole, I believe it's called, the Arcole, becomes part of his body, and when he transforms, it emerges from within him. And the same thing with Agito. When he summons the belt, it forms around his body, because when the seed of Agito awoke within him, and he was able to transform into Agito, his belt, I forget the name of Agito's belt, but I'll put it right here. Anyways, they were, in a sense, organic riders because they didn't need to attach their belts externally, or they didn't need extra devices. They just needed to summon their belts from within and then do a sequence. Now, it's not confirmed if that sequence was always necessary, but hey, aesthetics. It's always cool. And so yeah, going forward, Ryuki, Faiz, Blade, everything was meant to be directly connected. But again, because actors didn't want to return, they decided to go with, oh, each rider is their own rider in their own world. Simply because that made things easier, and it made more sense going forward as they would continue to develop and change, and each rider wanted to have their own theme. Now, early on, they clearly wanted riders to come back and reprise their roles, but that wasn't going to happen. Like, Ryuki got a Hyperbow video where Agito showed up as the Mirror World Master, but there are no scenes where the actor transforms into Agito, and it's a completely different voice. So, yeah, stuff like that happened. And it wasn't until way later, till decade and past decade, that former rider actors would return. But again, Kuuga never did, at least not to my knowledge. And there's a whole reason to that. Though there's not to say he completely disconnected himself from the franchise. He showed up to occasional conventions, he signed DVDs and whatnot. But that was very rarely to my knowledge. Now, if anyone has knowledge that he did show up more often, please let me know and put it in the comments. I'd love to see that. But yes, this has been my episode explaining how Agito and Kuuga, or Kuuga Agito, however you want to put it, were meant to be directly connected, and so was all of Heisei. But that's all I got for now. Join me next time for the next TOKU Explained episode, which I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I'm going between ideas. That's why this one took so long, because a lot of ideas I've got going around that I want to talk about, but I have to pick and choose. I also don't know how many TOKU Explained episodes I'll do, because if they don't do well, I may not be able to do them, because I want to push forward the stuff that people want to see and enjoy. But anyways, all that ranting aside, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please check out my other videos. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the videos. And remember, it's always Henshin time!